All right, so we're finally on day 2 of working on the van. Not day 2 that we've owned it, but today gonna be an easier day. Idea here is we get all the seats removed out of here. We just have the back row left, and then we're going to work on removing all of this carpet that's in here. It is stained and gnarly from just years of being in here, and we could cover it up, but it's probably gonna smell a little bit, so we're just gonna pull it out while we can. It'll also allow us to see what it looks like underneath, if it's wood or metal, if the wood's rotted, if we need to replace it. So that'll give us a good idea of what we're looking at. So once we get all that done, then we can assess a couple of things. Does it have insulation in the walls? We used to work on these buses at a shop I used to work at, and this one was made in Kansas, and so we were able to call them up, and we do know that they built this model with insulation in the walls. We just don't know how much insulation, what it looks like. We know that these windows leak, so that insulation could be damaged and we may need to replace it. So all that being said, it's just lots on our to-do list. So we're just gonna knock a few things off of it today, and wherever we get to, we get to. So let's get at it. Carpet's out, and got it cleaned up a little. Swept up a whole bunch of junk that was in here just from years and years of buildup. Got some fun treasures out of here for sure. What did it take to get the carpet out? Well, I had to take out those little silver strips that held it down. They were kind of a transition type piece. Thought I was gonna have to take out this black strip, but I didn't have to take it out. And it just pulled right up. It was nasty stuff, man. It was all stained up. I'm glad we got it out. The floor, once we got that up and could look at the floor looks pretty good. There's a couple spots where we have a little bit of, water intrusion. We knew we were gonna find them because we could see that the windows were leaking in this. So that's our next big thing, is to take these windows out and get them resealed so that we don't have any more water problems. That'll be a big job for sure, but it'll be well worth it in the end. So yeah, you can see that the floors are nice and smooth now. We've got to take out the rear AC and the rear heater yet. What we're gonna do there is just do a mini split and do build a custom mount for it coming off the bumper. You don't want to mount them to this because it's fiberglass, and as much as it shakes, it'll end up tearing up the fiberglass and falling out. So the inside piece can mount to it, but the outside piece mount to your bumper or underneath if you got room. I think on some of the buses they do, but we don't have that kind of room for sure. So yeah, this stuff will all come out. We'll have to, like an inline fitting up front here for the heater hoses, so it's not feeding antifreeze all the way back here. Another good piece about doing that is you have a lot less room for leaks. I think every antifreeze leak I had on the Beerbulance was due to the rear heater line, so eliminating those will give me a lot less headaches for sure. And getting rid of this and putting in a mini split will just be a lot easier. Other than that, we're pretty happy with what we see. It's nothing that we didn't think we'd find. So yeah, I think our next big thing to tackle will be our windows, and then after that we'll know if we are going to do any sort of insulation. The roof is apparently insulated for sure. The walls are hard maybe, but maybe not too. So we'll find out. So looking at the floor, we found a couple of bad spots. Back here, you can see it's kind of black, but it's actually not bad at all. But up front here is where our 2 bad spots are that we'll have to replace at least part of this plywood. So you can see right here by the door, you can see right here on the window where water's been obviously leaking down, and this is going to be a point for it to pool. So this is rotted out. I mean, it's not much. It's only maybe 6 inches in and maybe 6 inches from the wall. So we'll just have to figure out where the cross studs are for this, and just cut a piece that size and replace it before we put our more permanent flooring in here. And then the spot that's worse than that is over here. Ashley swept a bunch of it out, but you can see it's just really rotted, really wet. So this spot is quite a bit larger, but it looks like you can see right here there's a line of a piece of plywood. So it looks like we should be able to just take out that one piece and replace it, and we should be good there. This is a little damaged, but not like, it's not soft or anything. So I think we'll get away with it, just replacing this piece, but we'll find out. We'll crawl into the van, look for water damage in those signs underneath, and that'll give us a much better idea of how bad it is.